Imagine a king who ruled longer than any monarch in European history. A ruler who built the most luxurious palace the world had ever seen, commanded Europe's strongest army, and declared, "I am the state." This was Louis XIV of France, famously known as the Sun King. His reign shaped France, transformed European politics, and laid the groundwork for the French Revolution. In this documentary, we explore the rise, glory, and downfall of one of history's most powerful kings. Early life and childhood. Louis XIV was born on September 5, 1638 in Saint-Germain-en-Laye, France. His birth was celebrated as a miracle because his parents, King Louis XIII and Queen Anne of Austria, had been childless for over 20 years. At just 4 years old, Louis became king after his father's death in 1643. Because he was too young to rule, his mother served as regent, while real power was held by Cardinal Mazarin, an experienced Italian statesman. During Louis's childhood, France was shaken by civil wars known as the Fronde. Angry nobles and citizens rebelled against royal authority and high taxes. Young Louis was forced to flee Paris, an experience that deeply traumatized him and shaped his lifelong hatred of disorder and rebellion. The rise of absolute monarchy in 1661, Cardinal Mazarin died. To everyone's surprise, Louis XIV announced that he would rule without a chief minister. From that moment, all power flowed directly from the king. Louis believed in the divine right of kings, the idea that monarchs were chosen by God and answerable only to him. He famously declared, "L'État, c'est moi. I am the state." He centralized authority, weakened the nobility, and placed loyal officials called intendants in charge of provinces. France became a model of absolute monarchy, with Louis at its center. The Palace of Versailles. Louis XIV's greatest symbol of power was the Palace of Versailles. What began as a small hunting lodge was transformed into the most magnificent palace in Europe. Versailles was not just a home, it was a political weapon. Louis forced powerful nobles to live there, surrounding them with luxury, ceremonies, and strict court etiquette. This kept them distracted and dependent on royal favor. Every detail of Versailles reflected Louis's image as the Sun King, the center of the universe around whom everything revolved. Economic policies and Colbert. Louis XIV appointed Jean-Baptiste Colbert as his finance minister. Colbert strengthened France's economy through mercantilism, encouraging exports, limiting imports, and supporting local industries. Roads, canals, and ports were improved. France became a leader in textiles, glass, and luxury goods. However, heavy taxation fell mainly on peasants, while nobles paid little. Religion and intolerance. Louis XIV believed religious unity was essential to national strength. In 1685, he revoked the Edict of Nantes, which had granted religious freedom to Protestants. As a result, hundreds of thousands of skilled Protestant workers fled France. This weakened the economy and damaged France's international reputation. Military campaigns and wars. Louis XIV pursued military glory throughout his reign. France built Europe's strongest standing army under generals like Marshal Vauban. Major wars included War of Devolution, Franco-Dutch War, War of the League of Augsburg, War of the Spanish Succession. While France expanded its borders and influence, these wars drained the treasury and caused widespread suffering. Culture, art, and the Sun King. Louis XIV was a great patron of the arts. He supported writers like Molière, composers like Lully, and painters and architects who defined the French classical style. French language, fashion, and etiquette became dominant across Europe. Royal courts everywhere copied Versailles. Decline and final years. The final decades of Louis XIV's reign were marked by famine, debt, and loss. Many of his children and heirs died before him. The common people suffered under heavy taxes, while resentment toward monarchy grew. Death and legacy. Louis XIV died on September 1st, 1715, after ruling for 72 years. His legacy: strengthened the French state, made France a European superpower. Defined absolute monarchy. Left France bankrupt, created conditions that led to the French Revolution. Louis XIV was both a symbol of greatness and a warning of absolute power. His reign dazzled the world, but at a terrible cost. The Sun King may have ruled like a god, but his shadow shaped the fall of monarchy itself.